Welcome to this explainer. You know, it's wild, but the main reason AI audits fail to actually drive change, it's not bad math, it's bad translation. Today, we're diving into Chapter 10.2 of our focus material, tackling exactly how to bridge that massive gap between technical AI audits and executive decision-making under the ISO/IEC 42001-2023 standard. So, here is our roadmap for today. We'll hit the executive communication gap, preparing the boardroom presentation, presenting findings with impact, delivering actionable insights, and finally documenting communication strategies. Let's get to it. Section 1. The executive communication gap. Okay, picture this. Have you ever faced the dreaded boardroom blank stare? You know exactly what I mean. You're up there delivering a hypercritical audit finding, maybe some complex algorithmic bias issue or a data governance failure, and the executive team just stares at you, like you're suddenly speaking ancient Greek. We've literally all been there. It is incredibly frustrating, right? Because you know the risk is huge, but the message just isn't landing. And honestly, this comparison really hits the nail on the head. To us auditors, an AI issue is an ISO/IEC 4201-2023 Clause 6.1.2 violation. That's precise, it's accurate for us. But the C-suite, they don't memorize ISO clauses. They speak one language, business impact. We literally have to act as translators here. We have to shift that conversation from a technical nonconformity to a strategic business risk, like the potential exposure of customer data that could end up costing millions in fines. If we don't translate our findings into dollars, risk, or reputation, we're just going to lose the room. Moving right along to Section 2, preparing the boardroom presentation. So before you even set foot in that boardroom, you need a solid game plan to translate your work. First, review your audit report thoroughly. You need to know the technical details inside and out. Second, identify those key areas of high risk that need immediate attention. And third, actually, this is the absolute magic step. Align those findings directly with the company's strategic goals. Whether leadership is laser-focused on operational efficiency, customer trust, or legal compliance right now, you've got to hook your technical data straight into what top management actually tracks every single day. Our source material lays it out perfectly. Avoid overly technical language or detailed references to clauses, and instead, focus on practical implications. That right there is your golden rule. Instead of geeking out over algorithm parameter drifts, talk about how fixing the issue prevents a massive PR disaster or a nasty regulatory penalty. Frame it around tangible business benefits, cost savings, tighter compliance, a protected corporate image. That is the language of leadership. Which brings us to Section 3, presenting findings with impact. Visuals are absolutely crucial here. Take a look at how a simple donut chart can instantly break down the frequency of nonconformities by department. Instead of making the executive team squint at a dense, complicated table, they can see in 2 seconds that IT holds 50% of the findings, operations has 30%, and HR has 20%. Boom. It immediately steers the conversation right to where the resources actually need to go, totally bypassing the confusion. Now, when you're actually up there presenting, keep these best practices in your back pocket. Focus strictly on key findings. Use those clean visual aids we just talked about, and most importantly, foster real engagement and dialogue. Don't just stand there and monologue at them. Ask questions. Listen to their pushback on budgets or timelines. Treat them like true partners in solving these AI governance puzzles. You're there to collaborate and guide, not to dictate. Oh, and please emphasize the positive. You're not just there to play the corporate bad cop. Fun fact, executive teams are way more receptive to critique when you balance it with positive reinforcement. So recognize areas where they're actually exceeding ISO requirements, maybe an incredibly accurate AI model or a super solid risk process they have in place. It motivates the staff, builds a ton of trust, and proves you're an objective partner. Up next, Section 4, delivering actionable insights. Because let's be real, just pointing out a problem, that's only half the job. The actual value is in the solutions. If your finding is incomplete risk assessments, pair that directly with an actionable insight, like implement centralized document management. Finding is infrequent management reviews? Your insight is establish a performance dashboard. You are pivoting from here's what went wrong directly to here is exactly how we fix it. You're handing leadership a clear, fully resourced path forward instead of just a complaint box. The absolute key here is that phrase, actionable insight. We define this as a practical, well-defined recommendation with clear steps that aligns with both organizational goals and ISO compliance. No abstract theories, no vague suggestions to just do better next time. These need to be crystal clear, tangible steps that management can confidently say yes to on the spot. And finally, Section 5, documenting communication strategies. ISO/IIC 42001-2023 demands resilience, and that means pre-planned timelines. Look at this rapid progression. A breach is identified immediately. Within minutes, an alert goes out to key stakeholders. A rapid crisis response kicks off over the next few hours, followed by a post-incident review in the days after. You definitely do not want to be scrambling, figuring out who to call or what to say in the middle of an active AI data breach. It all has to be documented and rehearsed way ahead of time.
To pull off a response that smooth, your documented strategy needs these core components: clear objectives, defined target audiences, selected communication channels, set frequency for updates, tailored messaging, and feedback mechanisms. Having all this laid out ensures that your messaging is totally consistent. So whether it's the CEO at the very top or an everyday AI system user, everyone is working from the exact same playbook when it matters most.
What's the ultimate goal of getting all this documentation locked down? 100% transparency. Whether it's a sudden emergency alert or just a routine monthly brief, keeping those communication lines wide open guarantees your information security management system actually does what ISO expects, protecting the organization. Total transparency builds an incredible culture of continuous improvement and unshakable trust. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. In your role as a strategic partner, are you just reporting risks, or are you architecting resilience? Think about how your very next boardroom presentation can actively build a stronger, safer organization. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we'll catch you next time.